Last time on Railway Series Adventures, Sir Topham Hatt purchased 3 new engines: 76624, 87546, and last but not least, 98462. They were brought to the railway since Henry the Green Engine was stuck in a tunnel for being silly. They arrived as planned and were warmly greeted by the other engines, though some of them were kind of curious. These engines seemed to be in good working order. Why were they sent to a workshop? Let's find out just what they're up to. This is Railway Series Adventures. The new engines fit in quite well. I mean, why wouldn't they? They were just like any other engine, trying to please Sir Topham Hatt, and did whatever task he asked for and did it to the best of their ability. Or in this case, a little too to the best of their ability. Despite being strong and powerful and useful, like all engines, these 3 engines had flaws. Though useful, they occasionally acted a little bit cocky. Unfortunately, the cockiness did not fade. In fact, it transpired into more of a condescending nature. Whenever an elderly engine was resting on a siding, they would shout out, "Engines don't wait in sidings, only scrap does. Are you scrap?" Edward was cross. "They'll get what's coming to them," he said to himself. "They'll get tired of it soon." I'm sorry to say, they most definitely did not get tired of it. They were frequently boasting about how great they were, and how they were the pride of their railway. Their boasting was so unbearable that engines that were nearby, listening to all this, would go and find some extra work to do so they wouldn't have to come back and listen to them boast about themselves. They didn't care what jobs they were given, even if it was the very dirty trucks that were meant for the scrapyard. and one of them full of old milk. Well, I'd rather smell this old milk than listen to those three brag about how great they are. They were extremely proud too, and they would conveniently miss signals and say, "I'm too important to wait," which would make them do very silly mistakes. And whenever the fat controller came to tell them off, they would come up with a quick lie. And for some reason, Sir Topham Hatt believed them, and every time he did, they would smirk and laugh to themselves. One eventful day, Thomas went to go collect some coaches for 98462's Express. Thomas went to go collect the coaches. "Oh, look who it is," said the coaches. "And just where have you been?" they asked. "Making plans of how I can get you wooden boxes to the station," smirked Thomas rudely. And he gave the coaches a rude bump. "Ooh, ooh, oh, ooh, ooh, ow," said the coaches. "Whatever's happening?" "Come on, don't dawdle, chortled Thomas. "And just where have you been? And just where have you been?" chimed the coaches. Thomas soon fussed to the station. Come on, he hissed. We're coming just fine, so don't fuss, retorted the coaches. Surely, 98462 pompously pulled into the station. He looked very proud. Thomas was moving as quickly as he could to get the coaches in the right place, but it wasn't quick enough for 98462. "Hurry up, you blue puffball," he said, rudely. This aggravated Thomas, so he went even slower just to spite him back for being so rude. At last, Thomas finally pushed the coaches into 98462's tender. "Finally," he said, "I'm ready to go." "Chop chop, give me a push, I'm ready." "So am I," said Thomas. He started to push, because all heavy trains needed a good push from the station pilot. It's just how things go. 98462 smirked. "I can barely feel you pushing anything." "Alright, I guess I'll help you myself. Push harder, you incompetent tank engine." "Why don't you pull harder?" said Thomas cheekily. Thomas was pushing to the best of his ability, and he didn't care what 98462 was saying. At last, the train was running nicely, and Thomas could finally put on his brakes and go back. He was glad when the train was running nicely, so he wouldn't have to push 98462 anymore. "Arrogant runt," he said to himself, and he puffed back to go fix some more trains for the other engines. On the other side of the island, trouble was kicking up. 87546 had to collect a freight train from the other end of the line. "Hey, you tank engine over there, where are my trucks? What have you done with them? Which trucks do you mean, 87546? The trucks that I normally pull, the express goods. I'm an express engine, so I only pull expresses. I'm looking for the express goods. Oh, those trucks! Yes, I know this truck's important. That's why I arranged them earlier. Then Rosie set off to go get 87546's trucks. The express goods is a long variety of the same trucks. Today it was the express tanks that 87546 had to pull. It was very long today and very troublesome. Rosie, the lavender tank engine, pulled up beside him. You ought to be careful with these trucks, 87546. These trucks are extremely troublesome. And since they're very long and heavy, they might cause tricks for you. Pah! Said 87546. I am an express engine. I'm big, and I'm strong, and I'm powerful. I don't need help from a little tank engine. Rosie laughed and puffed away to go arrange some more trucks. 87546 set off with his express goods. 87546 usually pulls the express goods for Vickerstown. Then Vickerstown would give him some trucks that were heading for Sodor, so it was kind of like a back and front thing. But little did he know that the turntable was broken, so he couldn't turn around. But we'll get back to that later. 98462 was in heaven. He was pulling the express as fast as he could, and the passengers were singing his praise. I'm the greatest, he said. Just watch me fly by with the express. Better than any engine, he smirked to himself. The Northwestern Railway is truly honored to have an engine like me. A fill of coal, a touch on the starter, then I'm off. No bother, no waiting. They have to fuss around those box tank engines for hours until they're ready, unlike me. I truly am the pride of the Northwestern Railway. They might even give me my own number. And I could finally get rid of this 98462 as my name and my number. I'll be so well known, they might even give me a hand-picked name. Edward was waiting at Wellsworth. He was very tired from his last journey. And then 98462 pulled in, looking very smug when he saw Edward. Oh my, said 98462. Look, Edward, us blue engines must try to look our best. You see, grand engines like me doesn't have to try to look their best, but you could try to look more presentable. You are a tender engine after all. But you, my friend, are a perfect example of what modernization is taking us. Old engines like you should be put in a museum, giving the railway room for engines like me. Edward was too tired to respond. Suddenly they heard rattling of trucks and a coupling snapping. It was 87546. The Vickerstown turntable was broken for his return journey, so he had to push the trucks instead. He was so cross he didn't check to see if the couplings were strongly attached, so one of them snapped and now the trucks were coasting down the hill. On, they laughed. Oh no, I must save the passengers, said Edward. 98462's train was due a few minutes ago for him to leave and go to the next station, but he was busy boasting to Edward that he missed his time. Edward rushed towards the tar wagons. Then he reversed. I have to try to stop them. The trucks came super close to him, but then he outran them. Going slower and slower, they buffered up to him. Then very skillfully, he put on his brakes. Come on! Come on! I've got to save the passengers! I've got to save the passengers! He said. Soon, we grounded to a halt. Then 87546 rushed down the hill. Don't worry! I'll save you, everyone! I'm the hero! Whee! Oh! 87546, how in the world was that exactly supposed to help? Just get this tree off of me. So Topham Hatt's message for 98462 and 87546 was brief and blunt. I shall speak with both of you later, because the third one isn't here, and I will speak with all three of you. Anyway, 98462, you seem to have Puff. You pushed 87546 back to the sheds. Yes, sir, they said. They puffed sadly away. So Topham Hatt told Edward to take 98462's coaches and Winston to take 87546's express goods. They were both very pleased about it and were happy that 98462 and 87546 were finally learning a lesson. Sir Topham Hatt spoke severely to 98416 and 87546. You two were nothing but trouble since you arrived. I knew that you were telling lies to me, but I only didn't do anything about it because I needed solid evidence to put in your report. I am very disappointed in both of you. 98462 and 87546 looked ashamed. They had a lot to think about. That was until 76626 bubbled up. I told them that nasty attitude of theirs wouldn't get them anywhere. He continued smugly. It's a shame they're not like me, kind, brave, hard-working. I've been nothing but a credit to the railway. He was about to go on until Sir Topham Hatt turned on him. The same goes to you, 76626. Or 24, I don't even care what your name is, 76624. The other engines told me just how badly you treated them. You're nothing but a lazy snob, sleeping on your jobs. You didn't even finish any of the tasks that I assigned you to. You should be ashamed of yourself. And bear in mind, all of you, that, especially you, that you're all on trial, and if you fail the trial, you'll all be melted down into a soup can. I saw most cans red, 76626, so I think you look lovely as a soup can. 76624 snorted. It's 76624, he said under his breath, but he didn't dare say anything because he was dreadfully embarrassed. While 76624 was being told off, 98462 and 87546 quickly smirked, but stopped when Sir Topham Hatt pointed to them. Now, you three troublemakers better bear in mind that you three are on trial. Trial. If you try anything else, I will have you quickly sent away. The engine's faces darkened. Please don't cause any more trouble, and I might purchase you. Because if I don't purchase you, you will go right back to the workshop where you belong. I don't care how you got there. I don't care when you got there. I really don't care. But the point is, you will go back there. And you will probably never be sold again. He strode away angrily. The three engines exchanged moody and surly and worried looks at each other. Later, Sir Topham Hatt also spoke to Edward too. Edward, you are a really useful engine. You're kind, you're brave, and most importantly, you're helpful. You saved those passengers in 98462's coaches. You knew what you were doing. You are a true hero. But unfortunately, you're somewhat damaged. And Sir Topham had almost cried. With a heavy heart, I'm retiring you. What? Why? Said Edward. And the other engines. All the engines were very upset. They knew Edward for a very long time, including Winston. No, please, sir. Retire me instead. After all, I am an express engine. After all, I'm just a busted old express engine. Why retire him? Please retire me. Don't retire Edward. Winston, you are the second biggest tender engine. Edward is much smaller than you, but I'm older than him. I'm sorry, Winston, but my mind is made up. But your heroic act will not be forgotten. The station that you saved will now be known as Edward Station. Also, I'm getting a new engine since 87546 is at the works. Since 76624 and 98462 are being punished, all of you will have to work harder. As for 98462 Express, I'm getting a new engine for that. But that's another story.